Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about some steps and tips and tricks about how you can write your resume and how you can make it better. First, I like to start the differences between CV and resume. We all have heard both words, but sometimes we don't know what's the difference between them. A CV is an in-depth document that can be laid out over 2 or more pages, and it contains a high level of detail about your achievement, experiences, and job description. Usually a CV is used when you're applying for universities or applying for job positions that are related to research. On the other hand, a resume is a concise document, typically no longer than 1 page, and the goal of resume is to make an individual stand out from the competition, so that the person is reading your resume for the job that you have applied, have the time to see what are the important facts about your resume that makes you a good candidate for that job. Another topic that should be added to your resume is your cover letter. Cover letter is something that most of the job applications that you fill out, they ask for a cover letter. So it is a single page letter written to a person or organization offering the job that you're applying for. Some of the steps that are really important that you have to take while you are writing or revising your resume is first of all the sections of the resume, what it should look like and how you should put all the information in your resume. The second one is the formatting. The third one is structure, content, and then reviewing your resume. The first one, sections of the resume. You always have to start with your name and your contact information on top of the resume. Your name should be in bold, and then under your name you should include your mailing address, email address, and phone number, so that the person that is reading your resume has some contact information. Later they can contact you. The next part that you should include in your resume is the education. Always list your most recent educational experience first, then include your university name, location, date, degree, and the major that you studied. If you have a minor, if you did a thesis or anything, also add that to your education under the name of the school and the major that you studied. And usually high school is not necessary. You don't need to put information about your high school, especially if you have higher education. There is no need to put information regarding your high school. The next section that you add in your resume is your experiences. And like your education, you should always list your most recent work experience first and then go down to the older ones. Include the name of the organization, location, date, and your position. And also you have to describe what did you do, all the activities related to each position as a bullet point. The reason that you should write it as a bullet point is to just make it like a summary of what you have done, so that they know what was the main things that you did at that job position. The next one is the skills. List all the skills that you have, like computer skills, technical skills, languages, and anything that you think is related to the position of your interest. And last but not least, always have a section related to your activities and awards. Recent activities and awards first, and then include the titles and date. No description or any more information is necessary for activities and awards. The next step that you should always be careful about is the formatting, how you write your resume. You should keep it concise, you should keep it simple, and it should be consistent. What does it mean to have a resume that is concise? It means that you should limit your resume to 1 page if you can. Sometimes I understand that it might go over, but try to eliminate all the unnecessary information and just have Just write the information that you think is important for the position that you're applying. The next one is you should keep it simple. Use standard fonts like Times Roman, Arial. Don't use like the fancy fonts, only the simple ones. And avoid using graphics or other images in your resume. And make sure your font is not too small. A size between 10 to 12 is a good size. And also make sure that your resume is consistent. Keep the dates and location in the same format and lined up throughout your resume. It should look the same. Every position and every section, they all should be lined up. The next one is the structure. The structure. You have to have your resume be focused on the position that you're interested in. Eliminate all the unnecessary information. And when you are writing your resume, always consider the reader. What will the employee need to know? Just put the information that you think it's important for them. Use bullets to erase readability. Do not write in sentence or paragraph formats, and make sure that all bullets are lined up. This will help the reader to go through your resume more easily. And also your order should be reverse chronological. So always list most recent education and experience first. And if there are multiple activities at the same date, put the relevant one first. Content. Use action verbs when you are talking about your experiences, your job description. Action verbs such as administered, analyzed, authored, supervised. You can always find different action verbs. You can just search in Google, just put action verbs, and a list of these verbs will come up. And try not to use the same one for every job description that you are writing. Try to use more words instead of just using the same ones over and over again. Keep the language active and concise. Minimize using the conjunctions such as the, and do not put any periods at the end of the bullets. The next one is describe accomplishment as well as your job duties and descriptions. Use again the active words to describe your role in each position. Don't just list the task or separate various teams into a separate bullet point. Just put them all in one. The last one that you should always, it's actually the most important one, is reviewing. Always make sure that you proofread your resume. Ask your friends, ask your professors, just ask them to proofread this for you so that you minimize any grammatical or spelling errors. I also want to talk about cover letter. As I just talked about it, it's really important to always write a cover letter unless otherwise has been stated in the website that you're applying for that job. You can use the same heading as you have on your resume, like your name, address, and email. And it is better to always address it to someone if it's possible. If there is no information of who's the person responsible for receiving your resume, go through their website and find who's the most relatable person and address your cover letter to that person. The goal of your cover letter is to sell yourself, to talk about why you are a good fit for the job that you are applying. So keep the focus on what you will add to their company, not how this will help with your career. For example, what you have to avoid is your company has such a strong reputation and it would be a great opportunity for me to work for you. It's you're just talking about how it is good for you. But for example, you can use this sentence instead. During my internship with Company X, I developed the analytical skills that would strengthen my contribution to your department. This is how you can point out you can be a great fit for that position and how you will bring value to their company. Never repeat your resume. The goal for your cover letter is to just start a motivation for that person that is going to read your resume, that they want to read your resume. And never copy sample cover letters that you find in internet. Try to be innovative and write what is the best fit for your personality. And as it is really important for your resume, no spelling or typing errors.